How you doing today, sir?
Good, you?
Are you a supervisor?
Yeah.
I was just explaining to Megan here that I'm an independent.
You have every right to film.
Yeah.
As long as you don't film the X-ray screens, because that's all sensitive. And,
Okay.
And impede the operation, you're fine.
Yeah. No, I'm just an independent journalist gathering content for a story.
That's funny. My mother has a phone with a camera on it too. I guess by your definition, that makes her an independent journalist as well.
You're well within your rights. I think you know them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And your name was? Brett Kavanaugh. Brett. Wow, like the Supreme Court Justice.
He spelled it with a K. That's really
Brett Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court Justice.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Trooper Lemoy with the State Police. How are you doing today?
How you doing, Trooper?
Good. I'm here to find out what your business here is at the airport today.
Nothing. Just gathering content for a story. I'm an independent journalist.
Oh, great. Do you have your ID on you?
I'm not going to provide you my ID,
being
Trooper.
asked by a state trooper for your ID. You're going to have to provide that.
This Connecticut, sir, is not a stop and ID state, and unless you have reasonable, articulable suspicion, I've committed
about to do that. I'm not here to get a legal advice from you.
Yeah.
I'm asking legally an order from a state trooper to provide me your ID. You're causing alarm at the airport. Multiple people have come up to us asking what you're doing.
There's a TSA supervisor who just told me I was well within my rights.
Please?
Yeah, and he was right. It would be a violation of TSA policy to allow you to record certain things or in certain areas. But keep in mind, even though he told you that you do have permission, TSA only governs certain aspects and area of the air travel process. The rest is governed by local and federal law.
Sir, let's
Put
see
your
it.
hands behind your back, please.
I'm going.
Put your hands behind your back, please.
Sir, okay.
Sir.
I'm not going to close any alarm. I don't.
Last answer.
I don't have any. I'm not going to put any. I'm not. I don't even have any ID on me, sir.
That's going to be
it.
Okay.
I can give you my name and date of birth if you'd like. Do you have your body camera on, sir?
581.
One detained, refusing to provide ID.
I didn't.
Is there anything on you that's going to harm me, poke, anything sharp?
I don't consent to any searches.
I didn't ask you that. Is there anything on you that's going to harm me?
No, and I don't
Knives,
consent.
needles, weapons?
No.
No? Where's your ID?
I don't have one.
No? What's this, sir?
That's my car key. Sir, I'm an independent journalist working on gathering content for a story.
No, you're a serial antagonizer with a propensity to getting arrested. It's why all your independent news stories on your channel involve harassing normal people doing their jobs or being put in handcuffs for being a jackass.
Okay.
I have not broken any laws.
No one said that you did. You're not under arrest right now. You're being detained.
But why are you detaining
You're
me?
interfering with my investigation.
Sir, you need to have reasonable, articulable suspicion.
I'm articulating that to you right now, that you're causing a disturbance at the airport.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
By gathering content, I'm an independent journalist, sir.
You need to stop trying to teach me
Why
legal.
are you shaking? I'm not going to hurt you.
You
I
need
promise
to
that.
stop and listen to me. I'm trying to identify you because you're causing a disturbance at the airport. You refuse to provide me your ID.
Illegal
You're clearly
activity.
doing this on purpose.
I'm not.
So we're going to go through the books by this.
I'm gathering content for a story. I told everybody I'm an independent journalist.
I get that. Now we're going to prove that, sir.
There is no proof of that. The First Amendment grants me the right.
What's your last name?
I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going
to ask you again. What's your last name?
If I do not give you my name, sir,
you're going to be placed under arrest and taken to be fingerprinted to identify you.
Okay, my last name is Reyes.
How do you spell that?
R-E-Y-E-S.
Yeah.
As long as you say that, if you say you're going to put me under arrest, I will give you my name.
That's what we would have to do to identify you. It's not what I want to do.
You have no right.
I came over here just to identify you.
You have no right to identify
Your first name, Mr. Reyes?
You have no right to identify.
Are you going to stop arguing with me? Because this is causing a big problem now.
My first name is S-E-A-N-P-A-U-L, one word. Can I get your supervisor here, Lavoie? One. Under threat of arrest, I'm providing you that information.
It's not a threat. It's me telling you what has to happen.
Can I speak to your supervisor, Lavoie?
Absolutely.
Okay, Karen. I don't think you understand the situation that you're in. Or maybe you do, and this is exactly what you were looking for content on your channel. But in Connecticut, if you're the subject of an investigation and the investigating officer asks you to identify yourself, you are obligated to identify yourself and not give false information. This does not mean that you have to provide a physical identification card, but you do need to give your government name and date of birth to the investigating officer, or they can take you down to the jail and identify you via fingerprints.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure, do you know who I mean as the fuel farm?
1021.
Do you have a Connecticut driver's license?
No, sir. Can you
Where do you have a driver's license?
Sir, I don't want to, since I'm being detained, I gave you my name under threat of arrest. I'm not going to answer any more questions till your supervisor gets here, please.
Not a problem.
Invoke my fifth.
Okay. 581 Bradley.
581.
Name and date of birth. Unknown on the state. He's refusing to provide that. Let me know when you're ready. What state do you reside in?
Yeah. Sir, I told you since you're detaining me, I'm not going to answer any more questions. I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent because I want to speak to a supervisor, please, because you're making a big mistake here, Trooper. I'm telling you, you are.
Unfortunately, sir, you made the mistake by not identifying yourself.
I told you I was an independent journalist.
That's great.
And he should have told you that he doesn't fucking care because that's not identifying yourself. Moving forward, every time he refers to himself as an independent journalist, we're just gonna ding him and keep moving.
No,
you still need to identify yourself. You're in an international airport, okay?
The law,
the security
the
of everyone here is more important than that, right?
No, the Constitution doesn't end in an international airport.
Once again, I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with. I'm not here to.
No, you can go back. You can do that with your supervisor. I'm here. If you whatever you need me to do that you feel that you're going to arrest me over, I will comply with that.
Wow. That's literally the smartest thing I've ever heard this cave-tard say.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
There was no need for you to be handcuffed. You made it this way. You put yourself in this situation. Absolutely not. Not until my backup arrives.
But why are you shaking? I'm not a threat
I'm not
to you,
shaking.
Sir. I'm not a threat to you.
You're detained right now. You're my responsibility. If you fall over,
I'm not a threat
you're
to
my
you.
responsibility. You're saying that, but I don't know that. I don't know that you're not a threat to anything here at the airport.
Sir, the way the world works, you can't handcuff people because you don't know if they're a threat or not, sir.
True. But when other people have reported you as a suspicious person doing suspicious activity, the officer has an obligation to investigate. And if during his investigation you act like a petulant anal bead, then he has every right to detain you for his own safety.
That's dangerous that you're acting like this, really. Just because you're an officer doesn't mean give you the right to...
You're trying to provoke this, but it's not going to work.
Sir, how am I trying to provoke it? I'm trying to instruct you and educate you.
That's not your job.
And that's exactly how you're trying to provoke him. You, the constitutional expert with the YouTube Law Certificate of Participation, aren't in any position to be teaching constitutional rights to anyone.
It is because I'm sitting in handcuffs. You told me you're provoking
your Fifth Amendment right to first.
Well, I can invoke it whenever I'd like, sir.
Gotcha.
For answering any questions,
okay.
But for education, I won't. You just violated my civil rights. Seriously, I'm not gonna say anything else. You did.
I love how he loves to hear himself talk so much that when he says he's finally gonna shut the fuck up, he follows that by not shutting the fuck up.
An unlawful detainment. This is you know what that's gonna happen, right?
Are you trying to scare me?
I'm just saying.
Are you trying to intimidate me?
I'm trying to tell you that this is unlawful, sir. I've been nothing but cordial with you since you came up to me.
Absolutely, except you interfered with my investigation and failed to provide your ID.
You have no authority, sir. You have no authority to ask me for ID, sir. That's just the fact.
I actually do once you cause a disturbance at the airport. If you were just here
I wasn't causing
and no one came to me and reported you to me, absolutely, you're 100% right. You could sit here and record all day. That's not the issue. The issue is you're causing alarm and disturbance.
TSA Supervisor Brett Kavanaugh came and spoke with me and told me that I have every right to film the security checkpoint.
I did not deny that. Have you heard that from me at all?
So what
You're causing alarm and disturbance to the passengers. Multiple people came to me. I'm sure you saw me standing over there, and I was asked to come and find out what's going on with the suspicious person at the checkpoint.
Suspicion is not a crime, sir.
It's not. The crime...
Can you articulate to me a crime?
I did not say that there was a crime committed, sir. I tried to identify you to make sure that there was no issue here. And you refuse to do that.
If I were you,
then you would not put your hands behind your back.
If I were you, I would invoke your own right to remain silent, sir, because you're just digging yourself deeper in a hole. You just said there's no crime.
No. What he said was that several people had reported you for suspicious activity near a TSA checkpoint. He's now investigating those reports to determine whether an actual crime is happening or not. A simple verbal communication of who you are and what you were doing would have probably ended everything right there.
Come on, man.
Not at this point, there isn't.
There was never a... Yeah, okay. Go ahead. You're right. There was never a crime. There's not going to be a crime. And I wasn't... Your body camera will show I've been nothing but cordial to you. I just was if invoking my rights puts me in cuffs, I mean, I guess that's just where we are.
If you feel it was
Connecticut.
your right to not provide me your ID when the state trooper requested it,
It was.
that's how you feel. That's fine.
See, the problem is you think you're above the law, and you think you're above.
Absolutely
You think
not.
you're above a citizen.
You see, now you're projecting your thoughts because I'm in uniform. So
No,
you
no,
assume
no,
because I'm in uniform.
I'm assuming because you put me in cuffs.
Yeah, you're detained. That's 100% right. For failure to comply.
An unlawful detainment. Okay. Okay. Is the supervisor is coming?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm sure he's going to explain it to you. I'm sure he is. All right.
I don't think the supervisor's gonna take your side on this one, dickweed. But we're gonna find out soon enough.
Cool, man. It's all about education here. I'm not mad. Trooper Lavoy. Good, you got a body camera. This is good. Great transparency for everybody. Because my phone wasn't. Imagine you did. This is what I'm talking about for law enforcement. Imagine you didn't have a body camera right now. My phone is off. I'm not recording.
Okay.
So what type of accountability would I have against you if you didn't have a body? That's why body cameras are important. It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
You know that state police have had body cameras for over 5 years?
That's great. That's good to hear. Really, it is.
31 to transport, and I'll be out inside the
Where I'm from, they don't have body cameras, so I'm an advocate trying to promote that.
You should. We're still trying to find out where you're from, so it'll be interesting to find out who doesn't have body cameras.
De-escalation. If you do a little bit of de-escalation, things might go a little bit better for you, and anybody else.
You could have too.
Exactly. De-escalation is not necessarily a one-sided obligation. Because by you escalating the situation with your tomfuckery, you ended up in handcuffs. So Long Island audits, it gives me great pleasure to tell you this, but if you'd used a little bit of de-escalation, things might go a little bit better for you.
All I did was tell you I want to invoke my right. Is this a supervisor?
No.
Come on, man. Can I get a supervisor here? He's going to explain to you guys to release me immediately. I haven't broken any laws. This is insane.
You'll be released as soon as you're identified.
This is unlawful.
And we're sure that there's nothing being done here.
Bradley.
Cruz and Lavoy.
Sir, can I just ask
I've been very transparent, sir. I told you I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story. Exercising my First Amendment right. That's all. Dude, the TSA supervisor he just told me I have every right to film the security checkpoint.
Absolutely.
He's the TSA supervisor.
Right. Mr. Reyes, you understand that. I've never denied that. That's not why you're detained. That's not why you're being
Detained because
spoken
suspicious.
to. You're detained because you weren't cooperating with me when I was trying to investigate what was going on over
Because
there.
I wouldn't provide my identification.
Absolutely.
According to 53A-167A of the Connecticut General Statutes, you can be arrested or detained for interfering with a police investigation. He's already told you that he had reports of a suspicious person. He initiated his investigation by asking you to identify yourself, and you refused from the beginning. Everything he's done so far is well within his rights and duties as a police officer.
Understood. Well, we can have a difference of opinion. This is America.
Absolutely.
But the only thing we can't have a difference of opinion on is the law. And you're a law enforcement officer, so I guess. Okay.
So can I just ask why, like, an officer asks you for ID, why you wouldn't provide it? Like, what is the big deal?
It's part of my rights, sir. I don't have to provide ID. It's not. If you didn't have a right to do something, why would you? It's a right. It's not a privilege.
Were you just arrested recently?
I don't answer questions.
The answer is yes.
So why are you asking a question you know the answer to?
Because I think you're just trying to be difficult.
I just don't want to answer any questions. Is that
Like you have an agenda here. That's what I'm telling you. Like you have some kind of agenda.
I didn't put myself in these cuffs. I told him I'm a journalist. TSA didn't put me in cuffs.
People tell us stuff all the time. Doesn't mean that we necessarily believe them until they provide people lie to us all the time.
Just because you have trust issues, that doesn't mean you can put free citizens.
It's not that we have trust issues.
You can't put free citizens in handcuffs.
It's the nature of our job.
This is an unlawful detainment. And when the supervisor gets here, he's going to let you guys both know that, and he's going to tell you to release me.
We're going to release you as soon as we're able to do that. I'm not keeping you detained just because I feel like I want to. You understand that, right?
Yeah, no, you want to, because you put the cuffs on me. You definitely did.
While I was here by myself, and you weren't cooperating with me. Yes, you were handcuffed.
I was not aggressive.
No one said you were aggressive.
And all I told you was I'm not providing my ID because I don't have to, legally.
And that's where you're wrong. In Connecticut, you don't have to produce a physical identification card, but when an investigating officer asks you to identify yourself and you refuse from the beginning, then you're interfering with his investigation, and that's why you're wearing your new Christmas bracelets.
Right.
I'm following.
Until you were
law.
given a lawful order from a state trooper to do so, and you've chose not to.
That is an unlawful order, sir.
Okay.
And you're going to learn that.
Well, I'm glad you cooperated with it because it was getting close to the point that you weren't, where I had to physically put your hands behind your back for you.
Sir, I don't comply with unlawful orders, and that's just my right as a citizen to not comply with it. You might think it's a lawful order, but it's not. It's not.
Wait, didn't you say it wasn't a lawful order for him to ask you to identify yourself? And yet you still gave him your name and date of birth at the slightest hint that you might possibly get arrested? I guess you do comply with unlawful orders then.
All right, sir. Multiple people came up to me, including TSA, saying this guy was acting very suspicious at the checkpoint. I observed him recording, which is nothing wrong with that. However, when I went to identify him to find out what his business here at the airport, he refused to comply. Okay. Wouldn't provide me any ID. He's like pushing the limits. He's trying to test us, I think, and see. He's saying I violated his First Amendment right, and that he didn't have to provide ID, and that's why he didn't. When I asked him to put his hands behind his back because he wasn't being compliant with me and I was investigating, he refused to do so. It took me 4 or 5 verbal attempts to get him to do that. Okay. Had to physically put his hands behind his back. He's been compliant since, but constantly questioning what I'm asking, just being difficult. I don't think there's anything major here. I think this is what he was here to do. He says he's a journalist, and he was recording, but he has no documentation of that. And I just did a pat-down. I didn't do a search, obviously.
Well, where did you find him?
He was literally right here recording everyone, recording TSA agents.
Oh, so he wasn't on the other side?
No, he's on the unsecured side. Recording the TSA checkpoint, recording passengers, and people were just alarmed and disturbed by what he was doing.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure everything was safe.
Okay.
And that's where we're at.
Hi, Sergeant. Sergeant Drummond.
Yes.
Sergeant Drummond, I would like to be released immediately from this unlawful detainment. I have not broken any laws. Mm-hmm. Your trooper did not have any reasonable articulable suspicion to identify me or in any way. I talked to supervisor from the TSA, Brett Kavanaugh. He told me that I have every right to film the security checkpoint. This is a public building. I'm an independent journalist. He's violating my First Amendment right of freedom of press. And like I said, I would like to be released from these handcuffs. Okay. And he turned off my phone. Just, I would like to be released from these handcuffs immediately. I have not broken any laws, sir. Okay.
All right. Why were you videotaping? Just out of curiosity.
The same thing I told your trooper. I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story.
Okay.
I'm not going to divulge until the story is published. Now I guess the story has changed to an unlawful detainment by your officer. By your trooper, sorry.
Oh, so if I go to your YouTube channel and check out your content, it's only going to be you filming random people doing random things in random public places? No, your entire channel is dedicated to the harassment of public officials, and your intent today was to do the exact same thing so you could make money off your brainwormed followers.
Well, I will advise that...
Could you do that for me? Could you advise him that that's not the law? That's dangerous.
No. Actually, he had a reason to question you. You chose not to cooperate with him. You became the subject of an investigation. So
I do not have to provide my ID unless he articulates a crime.
Okay. That's fine.
Wait a second. Didn't you say this earlier?
Is the supervisor is coming?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm sure he's going to explain it to you. I'm sure he is. All right.
Well, the perennial loser loses again. Color me surprised. Okay, so the next video that we're going to cover is when Long Island Audits goes to file a complaint with the gun permit supervisor over the officer at the airport. I promise you, it's not going to go his way.
Yeah, I want to speak to Internal Affairs, correct?
So, Internal Affairs, just give me this real quick.
Okay.
All right, you just fill it out. What's the complaint about? Trooper or?
It's about a trooper. Thank you, sir. How you doing, Sergeant?
You're videotaping me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I don't want to talk to you then. If you want to videotape me, then if you want to talk to me like a man, we can chat.
But what about you guys wear body cameras here? What's the difference?
I don't have a body camera.
I understand that. Can I get your name, Sergeant?
Yeah, Brian Fahey.
Brian Fahey.
Yep.
So there's a serious civil rights violation going on here. So as I was explaining to your other trooper, I'm a journalist, independent journalist, working on a story.
Okay.
And I was gathering content for that story at the Bradley Airport. TSA became concerned about me filming.
You just admitted that there was an actual concern about you filming at the airport, just like the original officer said.
If you were just here and no one came to me and reported you to me, absolutely, you're 100% right. You could sit here and record all day. That's not the issue.
Meaning he had an absolute right and duty to investigate those reports. I love when Long Island audits himself.
A supervisor came over. The first person who was concerned called the supervisor. Supervisor said, you have every right to film. It's not an issue. I know your rights. You know your rights. Continue what you're doing. One of your troopers out of Bradley Airport, trooper.
How can I help you today with pistol permits? Can I help you today with pistol permits?
Why would I? I don't need help with pistol permits. I need help with a civil rights violation, as I just told you, sir.
But you can contact our internal affairs department. It's online, or there's a phone number.
But you're a supervisor.
I'm a supervisor in charge of special licensing and firearms. So all these people that are in line in 529 gun dealers in the state of Connecticut, that's what we're dealing with. There's an outlet for you to make your complaint.
There's a civil rights violation.
But there's an outlet for you to make your complaint, and you can make that. We've given you it.
Why are you guys acting like this?
Why are they acting like this? Because you're literally trying to file an internal affairs complaint with the supervisor of special licensing and firearms on a day and at a time when they're extremely busy with business relevant to their jobs. At this point, you're being an annoying fly on a frog's ass, and that frog is about to turn around and give you a licking.
I'm trying to make a serious civil rights.
What? I don't know what you. I can't help you with your complaint today. You have your outlet. You can call IA. I can get you the number. Or you can go online and make.
This is the headquarters. Can't somebody just come down here and speak to me from my internal
our
affairs?
Internal affairs division is not here.
Where is it? So I can go there.
It's in Middleton. It's in Meriden. I'm sorry, at North Colony Road.
It's in Meriden.
Building number 11, I believe. Yes.
Meriden.
Yep.
Can you get me that address?
Sure. 294 North Colony Road.
294 North Colony Road.
Yep.
Building what again?
I think it's building 11. I'm not sure exactly. You're going to go. When you come into the complex, the forensic laboratory is going to be on your left. You're going to take a right. There's an island. It's the last building on the right.
And that's where they're located.
You have your outlet to make your complaint. We give you plenty of outlets to make your complaint.
Yeah.
And we've offered them all to you. You have the paperwork, right, to make your complaint?
Yeah, they just gave me the complaint.
Okay. Yeah, you can go right ahead. Right ahead, sir.
But this is part of a thing that I'm going to fill this out, but I want to speak with somebody who can help me.
Okay, well then you can call IA, or you can go there, and if they have time to speak to you, they'll speak to you. But you have your outlet. You can go online and you can get the phone numbers.
Yeah.
You've given. We want to entertain your complaint through the proper channels. You want to make a complaint?
Yeah, which is through internal affairs.
Yep.
It's the proper
so you've been
channels.
given that. Yep.
I will go speak to them personally.
Have a great day.
You too.
Nice talking to you.
You as well.
I'll be right with you guys. You're all set here?
Excuse me?
Are you all set here?
Well, yeah, there's nothing else obviously you can help me out with at this point.
So you're all set. So you're going to go to IA right now, correct?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right.
I'm going to be going.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be going.
Okay. So you're going to stand here with your cell phone on?
I thought you were busy. I thought you were a busy man.
I am busy.
So you should get to work.
I should get to work? Is that what you're telling me?
If you're busy.
It was at this point that Long Island audits knew that he done fucked up.
We're going to have a problem between you and I.
You're going to do an interference.
His body camera's on. His body camera's on. Stop. He has his body camera on.
I don't care.
Stop,
I don't
man.
care. Right? This is private property. Okay?
I'm not doing anything.
You're not going to videotape me and have an attitude with me.
I'll get off of it.
I'm going to tell you what right now, dude. I'm not the one.
All right.
Okay? I gave you the information you needed, and I gave you your outlet. Right? You were giving your outlet. No, you wanted to stand there and hold your cell phone in my face. Is what you wanted to do. Yes, you do. Take your cell phone and go and make your complaint. Okay?
Okay.
See? That was easy enough, wasn't it?
Can I grab my cell phone?
You stay right here.
I'll get it for you.
All right. Where's your car at? Where's your car at? Where's your car at?
I'm gonna go, man. I'm going.
All right, no, but where's your car?
I didn't even know where my car's at. You were about to arrest me, man, for real?
I had
Is your body camera on?
Yeah, my body camera is on, buddy. I'm Trooper Castell, 1139.
Costello?
Yep.
Wow.
Listen, with the situation
You were going to arrest me for real?
we're going to detain you of what the situation was going on, man. You're being...
Conversation's over.
Every frauditor loves to tell cops who walk away from them that they're making the walk of shame. But this is what an actual walk of shame looks like.
You're being...
Conversation's over.
So I want to read this to you because I want to be, like I said, completely transparent with you guys. So I want to read exactly what the state police had to say about Sergeant Brian Fahey's conduct and unlawful actions that day. I'm sure you guys will love to hear this one. So I'm going to get right into it. Mr. Reyes, your complaint dated July 26, 2021, regarding the interaction with Sergeant Fahey and Trooper Costello while out front of State Police headquarters located in Middletown, Connecticut, was received at the State Police Internal Affairs Unit. As a result of your concerns, I conducted an inquiry into this matter, which included, but was not limited to, reviewing all available body-worn video footage, reviewing police reports, obtaining detailed explanatory memorandums from the state police personnel that were involved, and speaking with witnesses and reviewing witness statements. Mr. Reyes, as such, the inquiry did in fact determine that on July 23rd, 2021, at approximately 11:05, you approached the front door of the state police headquarters located in Middletown, Connecticut. You wanted to make a complaint about a situation that occurred with a trooper at the Bradley International Airport. So that situation that he's speaking of, that's the original situation that I was there that day at headquarters to file a complaint against Trooper Lavoie for unlawfully detaining me, placing me in handcuffs, and threatening to arrest me because I wouldn't provide him with my ID, even though he articulated to me that there was no crime that he suspected me of committing. And if you've watched my previous live regarding this situation, you'll understand that this same captain, Captain John Cerruti, from Internal Affairs and Professional Standards of the State Police, he found no wrongdoing for Trooper Lavoie, that there was some dignitary arriving at the airport, and that's why they were on high alert, blah, 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 and he found him to do no wrongdoing.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
So I was like, okay, well, they excused his behavior, unlawful detainment. There's nothing they can do to excuse Sergeant Brian Fahey, the pink shirt sergeant who broke my phone, stole my phone from me, and, battered me.
Dude, if that officer actually battered you, you'd turn into a fruitcake.
But, let's go on. Let's keep reading. Let's figure out what creative writing they have. At the time you showed up at headquarters, the special licensing, here comes the excuses, guys. At the time you showed up at headquarters, the special licensing and firearms unit was very busy. They were very busy. The line, remember, Sergeant Brian Fahey said, I'm so busy. This is why I told him to get back to work if he's busy. And that's when he went postal on me and, acted really crazy. So it was very busy. The line was wrapped around the building, which created significant challenge to those state police personnel working in the lobby desk area. Mr. Reyes, upon your arrival at headquarters, you made contact with Trooper Costello and informed him that you wanted to make a complaint regarding an interaction you had with a trooper while at the airport. Trooper Costello informed you that if you would like to make a complaint, you would need to fill out a form and submit it. You continued to film Trooper Costello. Of course I did. I always film the police, as all of you should.
Agreed. But filming the police and antagonizing the police are two completely different things, and it would behoove you to learn the difference.
As he was explaining the complaint process to you, while telling Trooper Costello about your interaction at the airport and what occurred, it appeared to Trooper Costello that you were trying to escalate the situation and bait him into further argument. Let me read that again. While telling Trooper Costello while I was informing Trooper Costello, because Trooper Costello was another uneducated, uninformed law enforcement officer for the Connecticut State Police. He was backing up his trooper for putting me in handcuffs and, putting me in handcuffs and without any reasonable articulable suspicion I've committed a crime. But he says that I was trying to escalate the conversation and bait him into further argument. Trooper Costello then went into headquarters and located Sergeant Brian Fahey, who then came out front of headquarters and met with you as you were filming the interaction on your cell phone. So far, they're already making their excuses. They're already doing what they got to do. It gets better. Wait for it, guys. Wait for it, guys. It gets better. He went into headquarters, located Sergeant Fahey, and came out of headquarters. Sergeant Fahey came out of headquarters and met with you as you were filming the interaction on your cell phone. The interaction was also captured on Trooper Costello's body-worn camera. Sergeant Fahey provided you and became... I'm sorry. I lost my place, guys. You apparently were not satisfied with the assistance that Sergeant Fahey provided you and became uncooperative. I'm going to link the video, the full video, and I'll link the clip to where he, broke my phone and he, battered me and pushed me back. I'm not the one. No, Sergeant Brian Fahey, I'm not the one. I'm not the one.
Excuse me, but you are the one. Should I play that slow motion walk of shame again?
Because no matter what this paper says, no matter what this BS says, you lost qualified immunity. My lawyer already told me. You lost your qualified immunity. I was in public filming you. Private property, all this craziness that he was talking about. Anyway, let me get back to reading this for you guys. I became uncooperative, which was corroborated by witnesses waiting in the permit line. Bunch of bootlickers, or they just don't exist. Witnesses, right? Watch the video. I'll link it in the live. Watch the video. I know you've seen it already, most of you, so you guys know. After your business was concluded, you don't tell me when my business is concluded on public property.
Well, that isn't necessarily public property. That's private property owned by the state, and it's what's considered state property.
After your business was concluded in front of headquarters with Sergeant Fahey, you insisted on remaining on the grounds of headquarters with the intention of filming a further confrontation between yourself and the state police personnel in this case. Sergeant Fahey. Sergeant Fahey could have walked right back inside. I said, it was nice talking to you, sir. Have a great day. He decided to stay outside. What, are you going to continue to film out here? Yeah. Oh, I told you to go to Internal Affairs. I'll be going. I will be going. You don't tell me when to go. I was still filming outside. He could have went back inside and all of this could have been avoided. Watch the video. I'll link it in the description below. It gets better. In this particular incident, you exhausted your stay. I exhausted my stay. In this particular incident, you exhausted your stay and purpose for remaining on state property. I exhausted my stay. How can I exhaust my stay on staying on public property in the middle of the day? This is public property. I wasn't even inside the building.
It's not public property, and they can ask you to leave at any time. That building has a specific use, and you're just standing there doing nothing relevant to the business conducted inside of that building. At that point, you're trespassing on private property owned by the state.
Ridiculous. You clearly made other civilians present outside of headquarters feel uncomfortable during your confrontation with Sergeant Fahey. I made people feel uncomfortable, yet two men with guns, one who wanted to arrest me for interfering with my own assault, Trooper Costello, we're talking to you, the other one who stole my phone from my hand, threw it on the ground, breaking it, and then pushing me back, battering me. That's not, they didn't feel uncomfortable about that, but they felt uncomfortable that I was holding my camera up and, talking in a reasonable tone. I'm sure they did. Sergeant Fahey was Sergeant Fahey, I can't even read it. Sergeant Fahey was professional with you and spoke to you in a conversational tone, never once using any derogatory or insulting language towards you. I think when he first came up, he said, I'm not going to talk to you. Not while you're recording.
They hate transparency. They hate accountability. They want to talk. Imagine if I wasn't recording. Just imagine what would have happened to me.
Well, if you weren't recording, then you wouldn't have any financial incentive to harass the police. So you probably would have just got your forms and your information, headed over to Internal Affairs and filed your complaint properly.
Sergeant Fahey was professional. Yeah, right. No, he wasn't. Sergeant Fahey also expressed to you that the state police wanted to entertain your complaint. However, through proper channels. Sergeant Fahey further explained that you could not speak with anyone from Internal Affairs because Internal Affairs was not located at headquarters, which is true. That is a true statement. And I was going to go to the building where Internal Affairs, I ended up going there. That's a video. I'll link that video too, where I went to Internal Affairs and spoke with 2 Internal Affairs officers. That was true, but I wasn't ready to leave. I was waiting there to gather some more content peacefully. Whoa.
So you do admit that you were remaining on private property with the sole intent of loitering and harassing the people that work there. Seems to me like you got off a bit easy with just that walk of grace you performed.
In summary, you were not assaulted. And per your statement you provided to Internal Affairs, you did not seek out any medical treatment because you did not sustain any injuries from Sergeant Fahey. Oh, so it's okay. It's okay that he pushed me like 50 feet backwards, nearly tripping me over a curb. That's okay. I wasn't hurt. I didn't go to the hospital. It's okay. I didn't go to the hospital. That's okay. It makes it all right. There's no assault. That's not true. You don't need injuries for it to be an assault.
Actually, you're wrong about that too. According to Connecticut General Statute 53A-61, assault in the 3rd degree is defined as intentionally causing physical injury, recklessly causing serious physical injury, or with criminal negligence causing physical serious injury with a deadly weapon. Since no injury occurred, no assault did either. You know, you really should learn the laws before you go out and try to perform your street lawyer bullshit. In fact, never mind, don't do that. You should go out and find a job that you're qualified for, like cleaning the glass window in a pay-for-porn booth.
I'll finish this up. You failed to provide the purchase documentation for your phone as previously requested by Sergeant O'Donnell. So I had bought a new phone, guys, after this incident happened, and the Internal Affairs Sergeant wanted the proof that I bought a new phone. Listen, I don't need to provide proof that I bought a new phone. Number one, I don't need to provide proof that I bought a new phone.
Well, I guess you don't need to be reimbursed for your imaginary new phone then, do you? Well, guys, that's the end of the video. And that's the end of the 12 Days of Christmas Idiots series. We passed 50,000 subscribers along the way, and I'd love to have you join me for my official 50,000 subscriber celebration that's going to start on December 27th and end somewhere on the 29th or 30th. If you like this video, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Comment below. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any